Ladies and gentlemen, XRP holders, brace yourselves. This is an emergency price warning. We're standing on the edge of what could be the most explosive breakout in crypto history. With XRP dipping to around 241 today, after a sharp 6% drop from 256, the clock is ticking and there's not much time left before this sleeping giant awakens. Imagine $100,000, $1,000, even $10,000 per XRP becoming not just a dream, but a realistic reality. Here's exactly how it's about to unfold. First off, this isn't financial advice. I'm not your advisor, just a passionate crypto enthusiast sharing the hype. Do your own research, folks. But let's dive in. The crypto market is heating up like never before, and XRP is primed to lead the charge. We've seen Bitcoin and Ethereum surge in past cycles, but now with massive capital inflows flooding the space, altcoins like XRP are set to explode in a tidal wave of gains. The market is showing signs of a major shift where institutional money is rotating from established giants into undervalued gems like XRP, driven by its real-world utility and impending catalysts that could redefine global finance. Why is this pivotal right now? Look at the recent volatility. XRP crashed 15% in just 24 hours earlier this week, hitting that 2.4141 low, but analysts are eyeing a rebound to $3 fueled by fresh ETF filings that could unlock billions in institutional money. This isn't random, it's a historic pattern repeating on a massive scale. Remember, 2017, XRP rocketed from pennies to over $3 in weeks, a 50,000% gain. Now with the market matured and real-world adoption kicking in, we're talking multiples of that. The ecosystem has evolved tremendously since then with more banks, payment processors, and even governments exploring XRP's capabilities for seamless cross-border transactions. This isn't just hype, it's backed by tangible progress in blockchain integration across industries. Speaking of adoption, XRP's technology is superior. Faster transactions at fractions of a cent, scalable for global payments, outpacing Ethereum's high fees and slow speeds. While ETH battles congestion and gas fees that can skyrocket during peak times, XRP's ledger is built for mass adoption, handling trillions in cross-border flows with ease. That's why banks like Santander are already on board, using it for real-time settlements that save time and money compared to traditional systems like SWIFT. Ethereum has its strengths in smart contracts and decentralized apps, fostering innovations like DeFi and NFTs. But when it comes to pure efficiency in payments, XRP wins hands down. Its federated consensus mechanism allows for quick validations without the energy-intensive mining of Bitcoin or the occasional bottlenecks in Ethereum's proof of stake. In 2025, as more enterprises seek scalable solutions, XRP's edge becomes even clearer, positioning it for explosive growth as money flows from slower networks into this turbocharged alternative. But don't just take my word. Let's look at the experts. Tom Lee from Fundstrat is calling for Bitcoin to hit $250,000 and Ethereum $12,000 by year end. If that happens, XRP could follow suit, potentially reaching $27 or more based on historical correlations and super trend setups mirroring past rallies. Google's Gemini AI predicts XRP could climb significantly by end of 2025, aligning with bullish forecasts up to $5. Even market veterans are targeting rallies to $9 or higher, with breakout patterns signaling 300% surges. Tom Lee has also hinted at Ethereum reaching even loftier heights like $62,000 in longer terms, which could imply XRP scaling proportionally given its undervalued status. Other analysts see XRP pushing to $3.30 to $3.50 by October end, building on ETF optimism and regulatory clarity. CoinCodex forecasts a slight dip, but overall bullish sentiment with XRP, recording green days amid volatility. Finder's expert panel averages 2 tools 80 by year and rising to 5 to 25 by 2030, emphasizing regulatory wins and adoption. These opinions aren't isolated. They reflect a growing consensus that XRP's fundamentals are aligning for a major upswing, especially as Bitcoin and Ethereum pave the way for altcoin seasons. On X, the sentiment is electric. Users are buzzing about $100 to $1,000 targets, with one predicting $10,000 as peanuts. potentially hitting $100,000 depending on XRPL value. At Remy Relief X, another warns of a supply shock if even 1% of the $650 trillion global market enters via real-world assets on the ledger at Vincent van Gogh. The community sees eerie similarities to 2017, but on steroids. Trillions moving in, creating unprecedented demand. Posts highlight massive whale predictions for $1,000 thresholds, with influencers like Armando Pantoja calling $1,000 inevitable, with time at _tycoon. There's talk of government buys setting prices at 100 OSIs, or $1,000, to cement XRP as a global reserve. At Vincent van Gogh, skeptics exist debunking market cap myths and arguing for realistic paths to 10, 100 or beyond through utility-driven demand. Ajacolo 2303. One user even references prophecies and visions for $10, $150, $10,000, blending faith with market hype at fighting Darken One. Overall, the chatter is overwhelmingly bullish, with warnings that once the run starts, exiting won't be easy as liquidity thins at higher levels. A bit current trends. XRP is at $241, down from $250 yesterday, but holding key supports. Historical data shows October dips often precede November explosions. Predictions for this month range from $2.31 to $2.60, but with momentum building, we could see $35 by month end. Compare that to Ethereum. Sure, ETH has staking yields and a vast developer ecosystem, but XRP's efficiency for payments means institutional rotations will snowball into it. Next, Ethereum's TPS lags at 50 to 60, while XRP handles 1,500 with plans for more, making it ideal for high-volume scenarios. As we head into Q4 2025, with Bitcoin topping $115,000 and Ethereum pushing boundaries, XRP's relative undervaluation screams opportunity. Trends also show XRP's resilience amid market corrections, with average daily transactions up 8.8% year over year, even as new addresses dip slightly. This indicates core holders are accumulating, setting the stage for a breakout. Now, a quick shout out. If you're serious about crypto riches, check the pinned comment below for the best guide to becoming a millionaire investor. It's packed with papers, pictures, videos, and step-by-step instructions to find those 100x gems. And hey, use my Moomoo link to deposit $100 and snag free NVDA stocks worth up to $1,000. Perfect timing for this bull run. Back to the action. Massive capital inflows are coming, with regulatory clarity finally here. After years of battles, XRP is navigating turbulent waters, but emerging stronger. Think about it. $143 billion market cap now, but at $100, that's trillions. Realistic with RWAs unlocking multi-trillion markets. Forget market cap myths. Experts say $10, $100, $1,000 is possible as utility drives value. At Jacolo 2303, institutional inflows hit records like 69.4 million in September, signaling big players are positioning. Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin integration and network upgrades like V2.6.0 enhance functionality, attracting more users. As Fed rate cuts boost risk assets, capital floods into crypto, with XRP benefiting from its payment prowess. This isn't speculation, it's a convergence of macro trends, tech advancements, and market maturity pushing XRP toward unprecedented heights. Potential directions, two paths: a dip below $2 if supports fail, or a sharp relief rally to $250 plus if whales ease pressure. But with ETF hype and filings, the upside is massive. Analysts I3 rebound soon. Staking and yields on other chains pale compared to XRP's real-world use. Money will flood in as cycles repeat larger. Ethereum's upgrades aim for 100,000 TPS long-term, but XRP's current 1,500 TPS and low cost make it ready now for mass adoption. Catalysts like SEC ETF approvals from Grayscale, Bitwise, and others could spark 20-40% rallies in Q4. Add partnerships expanding Ripple's network, and the snowball effect begins. Demand outpacing supply, prices exploding. The next 30 days, explosive historical patterns show altcoins surge after Bitcoin peaks. XRP could 10x from here, hitting $27 minus, but dream bigger. $100 if inflows hit $1,000 as trillions tokenize. It's eerie how similar this setup is to past booms, but turbocharged by adoption. From 2014-2018 cycles lasting 1,492 or 1,614 days, analysts like EGRA predict peaks in May or September 2025, but with current momentum, November could see fireworks. Bitcoin's HINGs and Ethereum's upgrades have historically lifted alts, and this time with matured infrastructure, the gains could dwarf previous ones. Imagine the FOMO as prices climb. Retail piles in. Institutions double down, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of upward pressure. Imagine the snowball effect. Institutional money rotates from BTC ETH into XRP for its speed and cost. Global payments revolutionized prices exploding. One ex-user nailed it. XRP to $1,000 is inevitable, but not tomorrow. Her tall guy tycoon. But with time running out, the warning is clear. Not much left before liftoff. As liquidity crisis forced central bank interventions like QE, crypto dumps initially, but rebounds violently, potentially to $1,000 XRP. Haftra low. This dynamic plays out in macroeconomics, where risk assets like XRP benefit from renewed liquidity floods. Let's break down the path to these targets. At current 241, a 40x gets us to $100, feasible with ETF approvals bringing billions. Then as RWAs hit 400x to $1,000, mirroring 2017, but scaled up $10,000. That's $4,000 possible if XRPL captures even a sliver of the 650T market, a Vincent Van Gogh. Skeptics cite market caps, but utility trumps that. Trillions will flow as XRP becomes the bridge for tokenized assets, settlements, and more. Historical milestones like partnerships and network enhancements explain long-term trends, with XRP's deflationary burn adding scarcity. If Bitcoin hits 225K, as some predict, XRP could tag along to double-digit levels, with correlations amplifying gains. More experts backing. Wells Fargo allegedly predicts $1,500 in 2 to 7 months. Though unverified, the buzz is real. Armando Pantoja says $1,000 inevitable with time. 8 tall guy tycoon on X. Predictions range from $15 or $27 this cycle to $107,000 soon. A Vincent Van Gogh. The community is hyped. Warning of no easy exits once action hits. Bitness. Da Vinci Jeremy projects $24 by end 2025 on institutional adoption, while Dark Defender sees 18 to 23 via wave models. Bitpanda analysts compared to 2017's 36,000% surge, estimating 5 polls with ETFs. Zach Rector warns of liquidity riots as XRP runs to $10, highlighting spreads at current levels. XBTC CNS. These diverse voices underscore the potential from conservative $5 to ultra-bullish 1,000 plus trends, show XRP stabilizing between $180, but scenarios point to Friday by 2025 end. With volatility rowing markets, XRP's resilience shines. 15% crashes are buy signals before rebounds. Order book depth has improved, aiding institutional entry. As Bitcoin rises above 115K, mixed crypto trends favor XRP's recovery. Why superior to others? Ethereum strengths in smart contracts, but XRP crushes it in payments. Cheaper, faster, ready for mass scale. As money floods from ETH surges into alts, XRP leads. Ethereum's DAPs and DeFi are impressive, but high fees deter everyday use, whereas XRP's 0 miles 2 costs and 3-ton 5-second settlements make it perfect for micropayments and remittances. In 2025, with Ethereum aiming for Pectra upgrades, XRP's hooks for simpler apps bridge the gap without complexity. Ultimately, XRP's focus on real-world finance gives it an edge in institutional adoption over Ethereum's broader but sometimes congested ecosystem. Catalysts stacking, ETF delays ending, regulatory wins, bank integrations. Add staking-like yields via DeFi on XRPL and it's game over. Inflows turbocharge. Ripple's lawsuit resolution in March cleared paths for ETFs with filings from major players like WisdomTree. Network updates fix issues and add features, while leadership changes like David Schwartz's semi-retirement signal maturity. Global trends like Fed cuts and risk on sentiment push capital toward XRP. Bloomberg analysts forecast multiple crypto ETFs in 2025, including XRP. Excitement builds. The next 30 days could see historical cycles repeat larger. One post warns, many won't make it to the other side, but holders now are golden. With Q4 ranges from $6 to $10, if milestones hit, the upside is immense. Breakouts above 272 could spark legs higher while supports hold firm. Promo time again. Don't miss the pinned comments millionaire guide full of resources for 100x plays. And grab those free NVDA stocks via my Mumu link with a $100 deposit. Stack your wins. In summary, XRP at $241 is a steal. The dip is your entry. Position now before the tidal wave hits. $100 realistic short term, $1,000 midi. $10,000 long as utility explodes. This emergency warning means time's running out. Get in, hold tight, and watch XRP soar. Like, subscribe, hit notifications. Let's ride this rocket together.